Hello everyone. Today's dissection topic is adductor region and adductor canal. Adductor region is situated on the medial side of front of thigh. It is situated between medial and posterior intermuscular septum. Medial intermuscular septum separates the adductor region from the extensor compartment of the thigh. Posterior intermuscular septum separates the adductor compartment from the flexor compartment of the thigh. But posterior intermuscular septum, it is incomplete because the adductor magnus muscle of the adductor region, it is made up of two components, adductor component coming from the adductor region and hamstring component coming from the hamstring part or flexor compartment of the thigh. Now, what are the contents of the adductor region? Muscles. Muscles are arranged in the three layers. Superficial strata means superficial layer of the adductor region. The muscles are, this muscle is the pectineus muscle, adductor longus and gracilis. Three muscles are there in the superficial strata. Then in intermediate strata, after reflecting the adductor longus, there are two muscles, that is obturator externus and adductor brevis. And in the deep plane or in the deep layer, the only one muscle, that is the adductor magnus muscle. Then nerve, that is the obturator nerve of the adductor or medial compartment of the thigh, and arteries, that is the obturator artery and profunda femoris artery. Now we will discuss the each muscle separately. The first layer of the muscle, that is the superficial, they are situated in the superficial plane, that is the gracilis, adductor longus and pectineus. Now see, these two muscles, this one is the pectineus muscle and adductor longus. These two muscles form the floor of the femoral triangle. Pectineus muscle, this muscle has origin on pecten pubis of the pubic bone and pectineal surface of the pubis bone. The fibers, the shape of the muscle, that is the quadrilateral shape. The fibers of the pectineus will run downward, laterally and backward, and they will insert on a vertical line extending from lesser trochanter to the upper part of linea aspera. The pectineus muscle, it has dual nerve supply. The ventral part of the pectineus muscle, that is supplied by nerve to pectineus, which come from the trunk of the femoral nerve, and dorsal part of the pectineus muscle, that is supplied by anterior division of obturator nerve. As this pectineus muscle has dual nerve supply, it is considered as composite muscle or hybrid muscle. What is the action of the pectineus? It will do flexion of the hip joint and adduction of the hip joint. Now second muscle is adductor longus. Adductor longus muscle lies medial to the pectineus and it lies in the same plane as plane of the pectineus muscle. You can see the adductor muscle, it is, the shape is triangular in shape. The muscle has origin from the origin in the form of tendon. So it has tendinous origin from the junction, angle formed by the junction of pubic crest and symphyseal surface of the pubis bone. So this muscle here, sometimes at the origin of this tendinous origin of adductor longus, there is formation of rider's bone. The muscle fiber slopes downward, backward and laterally, and this adductor longus will insert on the medial lip of linea aspera at the middle of the shaft of the femur bone. This adductor longus muscle, is supplied by anterior division of obturator nerve. So you can see this muscle is the adductor longus, and you can see the nerve supply of the adductor longus, that is the anterior division of obturator nerve. What is the action of adductor longus? It is the powerful adductor and medial rotator of the hip joint. It also assists in the flexion of hip joint. Third muscle in the superficial plane, that is the gracilis. This gracilis muscle is long and slender. In the upper part it is little bit flattened one, and in the lower part it forms the rounded tendon. What is the origin of gracilis muscle? Gracilis muscle arises from the outer surface of body of the pubis, particularly lower part of the medial margin and inferior ramus of the pubis bone. The fibers of the gracilis will go vertically downward, and it crosses the medial condyle of the femur just behind the sartorius muscle. This muscle is the sartorius. The gracilis muscle lies behind the sartorius. It crosses the medial condyle and reaches on the medial surface of the tibia. So insertion of the gracilis, that is in between the hockey stick insertion of sartorius and linear insertion of tendinous. So three muscles, sartorius, gracilis and semitendinosus, inserts on the upper part of the medial surface of the tibia. Now these three muscles come from the three different part of the hip bone, that is the ilium, ischium and pubis, and these three insertion supports the mobile pelvis on the tibia, and they act as a guy ropes. This gracilis muscle is supplied by the anterior division of obturator nerve. So you can see the nerve supply of gracilis muscle. Gracilis muscle helps in the adduction of hip joint. As gracilis muscle crosses the knee joint, it also helps in the medial rotation of the knee joint, and in semi-flexed knee it also helps in the medial rotation. So muscles of superficial plane are pectineus, adductor longus and gracilis muscle. Now to see the muscles of intermediate plane, that is adductor brevis and obturator externus, we have to cut the adductor longus and pectineus muscle from their origin. So we have cut this adductor longus muscle and going to reflect on the lateral side. Again this is the pectineus, which is cut from the origin and reflected on the lateral side. So the muscles of the intermediate plane are exposed. So you can see the triangular muscle, this one, that is the adductor brevis, and medial to the adductor brevis you can see the part of obturator externus muscle. Okay, so adductor brevis muscle and obturator externus are present in the intermediate plane, two muscles. Now adductor brevis muscle, that is the triangular muscle. Origin of the adductor brevis, that is from the outer surface of the body of the pubis bone and inferior ramus of the pubis bone, and the muscle fibers will go downward, laterally and backward, and they are going to insert on a vertical line extending from the lesser trochanter to the upper part of linea aspera. So insertion is just lateral to the pectineus muscle. This adductor brevis muscle, it is overlapped by the adductor longus and pectineus muscle. So beneath this pectineus and adductor longus there is adductor brevis, and this adductor brevis, if we cut the adductor brevis, it rests on the adductor magnus muscle. Okay, then this adductor brevis and obturator externus. These two muscles intervenes between respectively anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve, that we will see later on. So adductor brevis, which is supplied by anterior division of obturator nerve, action is adduction of hip joint. Next muscle is obturator externus. You are able to see part of the obturator externus, which has origin from the outer surface of the obturator membrane and medial margin of the obturator foramen, particularly adjoining bones situated along with the medial margin of obturator foramen. The fibers of the obturator externus will go backward, upward, laterally, and the tendon will insert on the trochanteric fossa of the femur bone. This obturator externus, this is the short muscle situated on the posterior aspect of the hip joint. It helps in the lateral rotation of the hip joint and it is supplied by posterior division of obturator nerve. Now for the third layer, in the deeper plane, the only one muscle, that muscle is the adductor magnus muscle. Adductor magnus muscle is the large triangular muscle which has two components. One component is the adductor component and another component is the hamstring component. So adductor component of the adductor magnus muscle has origin from the conjoined ischiopubic rami, and the hamstring component has origin from the ischial tuberosity. Particularly which part of the ischial tuberosity? Lower triangular area, inferolateral part of the ischial tuberosity. Both the component, adductor and hamstring component, will form the composite muscle. It has dual nerve supply. Adductor component is supplied by posterior division of obturator nerve, and hamstring component has nerve supply from the flexor compartment of thigh, particularly tibial component of sciatic nerve. As this muscle has dual nerve supply, that's why it is also called as composite muscle or hybrid muscle. Now, how the muscle fibers will insert? So particularly adductor component, adductor fibers coming from the ischiopubic rami will pass downward and laterally, insert on the medial margin of gluteal tuberosity, medial lip of linea aspera, and upper part of medial supracondylar line. And then the hamstring component, which will pass downward vertically, and that component, you can see here, this component, hamstring component, will form the rounded tendon and it will insert on the adductor tubercle. So this is the insertion of hamstring component over the adductor tubercle. Now in the human being, the distal degenerated tendon of this hamstring component of adductor magnus will form the tibial collateral ligament of the knee joint, and in some vertebrates this hamstring component will directly insert on the tibia, and that much of part is called as pre-semimembranosus. So this muscle is the adductor magnus. Along with the linear insertion of adductor magnus, there is 5 osteoaponeurotic openings. That opening will provide passage to, upper 4 openings will provide passage to the perforating branches of profunda femoris and profunda femoris artery itself, and 5th opening will provide passage to the femoral vessels. So that is about adductor magnus. Now coming to the obturator nerve. Obturator nerve, it is the nerve of the medial compartment of the thigh. The obturator nerve comes from the lumbar plexus. Root value is L2, L3 and L4. It is formed by the ventral branches of ventral primary rami of L2, L3, L4. This nerve forms in the posterior abdominal wall within the substance of psoas major muscle. It enters into the pelvic cavity and it leaves the pelvic cavity to enter into the front of thigh at the level of obturator canal. Here in the obturator canal, it is accompanied by obturator vessels. Now, this nerve, when it enters into the front of thigh, it divides into the two divisions, anterior division and posterior division. Anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve lies respectively on anterior and posterior surface of adductor brevis. Particularly these two muscles, muscles of intermediate strata, that is the obturator externus and adductor brevis, they are situated between the anterior and posterior division of obturator nerve. Now, this anterior division of obturator nerve has four type of branches. One branch near the obturator, four type of branches, that is the articular branch, cutaneous branch, muscular and vascular branch. Articular branch to the hip joint, muscular branch, that is the it supplies the muscles of adductor, it supplies the adductor longus muscle. See, this is the adductor longus. Adductor longus muscle, then pectineus muscle, then gracilis and adductor brevis muscle. Then vascular branch, it supplies the femoral blood vessels, and the continuation of anterior division of obturator nerve will take part in the formation of subsartorial plexus, and this branch will supplies the lower part of medial side of the thigh. So four type of branches. This is the anterior division. Then posterior division. Posterior division of the obturator nerve passes behind the adductor brevis muscle. So you can see here the posterior division of obturator nerve, and this division comes behind the adductor brevis after piercing this obturator externus muscle. It supplies the obturator externus and adductor component of adductor magnus muscle. And if the adductor brevis is not supplied by the anterior division, then posterior division of the obturator nerve supplies the adductor brevis muscle. So this posterior division then continue within the substance of adductor magnus. It pierces the adductor magnus and it gives the genicular branch which will supplies the articular capsule of the knee joint and cruciate ligaments of the knee joint. So as you know, this obturator nerve supplies the both joint, hip joint as well as knee joint. So pain from the hip joint can be referred to the medial side of the thigh or to the knee joint. Now, artery of the adductor compartment is obturator artery. Obturator artery is the branch of anterior division of internal iliac artery which enters into the adductor region through obturator canal. Now, it divides into two branches, medial and lateral branches, which encircles the obturator externus and anastomosis with the medial circumflex femoral artery. The lateral branch will give the acetabular twig, and that branch, acetabular twig, will enter into the acetabulum through the acetabular notch, and one branch will traverse with the ligament of head of femur and supplies the part of the head of the femur. Now the muscles you can see in the layer wise here, that is in the superficial plane, medially pectineus and adductor pectineus and adductor longus and gracilis, and in between the adductor longus and pectineus you can see the profunda femoris artery enters into the adductor region. Then in the intermediate plane, this is the adductor brevis and obturator externus. Between the adductor brevis and obturator externus, which artery pierces? That is the medial circumflex femoral artery. And in the deeper plane, this muscle is adductor magnus, and sometimes the pubic fibers of adductor magnus, that is named as adductor minimus muscle. Now, adductor canal or subsartorial canal or Hunter's canal. Adductor canal is situated on the medial side of the thigh in the middle 1/3. So, this canal extends from the apex of femoral triangle. So, apex of femoral triangle is formed by the adductor longus muscle and sartorius muscle. So, from apex of the femoral triangle to the fifth osteoaponeurotic opening within the adductor magnus muscle. So, the femoral vessels from the femoral triangle enters into the popliteal fossa by traversing this adductor canal. The adductor canal is musculoaponeurotic canal, which is triangular in cross section. So, it has boundaries. Anterolaterally, this muscle you can see is the vastus medialis. So, anterolaterally, vastus medialis. Posteromedially or floor of the adductor canal, it is formed by adductor longus muscle. This is the adductor longus muscle in the upper part and adductor magnus muscle in the lower part. These two muscles, longus and magnus, will form the floor of adductor canal. And roof of the adductor canal, that is formed by the fibrous sheet which extends from the vastus medialis to the adductor longus and magnus muscle. Adductor longus and magnus muscle. Just above that fibrous sheet, there is muscle, that is sartorius, which lies in the roof. So that's why it is called as subsartorial canal. So we have reflected this sartorius and removed the fibrous sheet or fascia which stretches from the vastus medialis to the adductor muscles. And in the roof of adductor canal, there is formation of subsartorial plexus in their strong fascia. So, subsartorial plexus, it is formed by, you can see here above, the branches coming from this nerve is the posterior division of medial femoral cutaneous nerve. Then this nerve coming from the adductor region, that is the anterior division of obturator nerve, and the branch coming from the saphenous nerve. So these three nerve, saphenous nerve, posterior division of medial femoral cutaneous nerve and anterior division of obturator nerve, they will form the subsartorial plexus beneath the sartorius muscle. And through this subsartorial plexus, this obturator nerve here, this obturator nerve will supply the lower part of medial side of the thigh. So this is the boundaries of adductor canal. Now, what are the contents of adductor canal? Contents of the adductor canal, that is femoral artery, then femoral vein, this is femoral vein, femoral artery, femoral vein, then saphenous nerve. This is the saphenous nerve and nerve to vastus medialis. This one is the nerve to vastus medialis going into the substance of vastus medialis. It is the partial content of adductor canal. Apart from sometimes posterior division of obturator nerve and profunda femoris vessels are the contents of adductor canal. Now, this adductor canal is also called as Hunter's canal because John Hunter, the anatomist, used this adductor canal, this site, as a compression of femoral vessels against the linea aspera. Linea aspera is going to form a apex of the adductor canal. So against the bony resistance formed by the linea aspera, the femoral vessels can be compressed to arrest the bleeding, particularly in the surgeries of popliteal aneurysm and amputation of lower limb below the knee. So this canal is also called as Hunter's canal. Now, contents of this subsartorial canal or adductor canal. Femoral artery. You can see this is the femoral artery. This femoral artery, when it leaves the adductor canal, it will give one branch that is called as descending genicular artery. So you can see the last branch of the femoral artery, that is the descending genicular artery. So this descending genicular artery will divide into the saphenous branch, which accompanies the saphenous nerve, and one muscular branch which will supplies the vastus medialis. So this saphenous nerve and saphenous branch of descending genicular artery will pierce the facial roof of the adductor canal. Saphenous nerve and saphenous branch of descending genicular artery. Then this saphenous nerve, if you see in the adductor canal, it will lie lateral to the femoral artery. Then it crosses the femoral artery from lateral to medial side. So it crosses the femoral artery, saphenous nerve, in the lower part of adductor canal. Then femoral vein. Femoral vein lies posterior to the femoral artery. So you can see the another content, that is femoral vein. Femoral artery, femoral vein and saphenous nerve. Then the branch from the saphenous nerve will pierce the facial roof. It will pierce the roof of adductor canal.